How to motivate your students to learn. Motorcycles are dangerous. You messed up, now your life is ruined. I should better learn it. And that's very cool. As you remember, there are 3 steps. Step number 1 is motivating your students. Step number 2 is teaching. Step number 3 is practice. So if you don't do the step number 1, well, how are you going to go to the step number 2? Impossible. Today, we're going to talk about 2 different points. The point number 1 is the benefits of what you are teaching. Because imagine if somebody is trying to teach you something completely useless, something that you don't care about, well, then you're not going to learn. And if they don't learn, then you don't teach. And if you don't teach, then you are not a teacher, okay? So benefits is the first side, and you are the second side of this process. Because if the students care about learning, okay, they want to learn what you are teaching. But if they don't trust you, for example, well, then they're not gonna learn. Let's start with benefits. Do you know that in sales, the main point of sales is to present the benefits? And the easiest way I found is a theory of universal human values. What is this theory? As you can guess from the title, it's about the values. Values is what we care about, and universal means that it's everywhere. Anywhere in the world, humans care about this, okay? Look at the screen. This is what the theory basically says, that there are several values, okay? And sometimes they're even opposite. When you are giving somebody an option, a choice, an action, or even a thing, you need to match it with the according value. For example, all humans value freedom. Not all humans value freedom to the same degree, but all humans value freedom, okay? Let's take an example of motorcycles. I ride motorcycles, okay? And freedom is usually how people say why they ride motorcycles. So in my case, for example, I can ride to the Mount Fuji, I can ride to the beach, I can ride through forests, mud, I don't know, sand, anything. And so for me, that is freedom of movement. Also, I don't have to stop for traffic jams like I would have to do in a car. So for me, I feel, oh yeah, it's freedom. But here's the thing. Some other people, you see, the security would be on the opposite side of this spectrum. And actually people would say, no, motorcycles are dangerous. If you sit on a motorcycle, you will die immediately and burst into flames. So some people would prefer security over freedom. Some people would say, no, give me liberty or give me death. That kind of relationship. You need to, give a lot of options for the students to kind of pick their value out of your presentation. You say, okay, this knowledge will give you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so then they choose which one they like, okay? Or another option is you ask them, hey guys, what do you think? How is this good for you? And then they will tell you. So this was the step number 1. When you are teaching, even before you are teaching, you have to present why this is important. I will give you one more example. When I was teaching kindergarten kids, okay, not even adults, I was teaching them English, okay, and I had to explain why it's important to learn English. Because everybody here in Japan speaks Japanese and not many people speak English, and so they're like, well, why do I need this? My grandma doesn't know, my mother doesn't know, my father doesn't speak much, so why do I need to learn it? And then what I did, I was like, okay, here is a map, like that one, yes? I say, where do people speak Japanese? And the kids are like, I don't know, like here. I'm like, where is here? Show me on the map. Like advanced kids can show, okay, this is Japan. Yay! And I'm saying, that's it, yeah? Yes. Okay, they answer yes. Then I say, okay, and where do people speak English? And they're like, I don't know. America? I'm like, yes, very good. What about Hawaii? And they're like, Hawaii? Yes! Many Japanese people go to Hawaii, so they know Hawaii better than USA. For them, USA is like somewhere far away, like a dreamland, but they know Hawaii. I'm like, okay, where else? And they're like, I don't know. So some of them mention Australia. We mark it, okay, that's English. Nobody knows New Zealand for some reason. I'm like, yeah, in New Zealand too. Then UK, then India, and some African country. And they're like, whoa, and Canada, of course. And so then they're like, wait a second. English is more important than Japanese. I should better learn it. And so that's how they understand it, okay? And then you can give, of course, examples. Like if you go there, can you understand what they are speaking to you, right? If you don't know English, then you can't understand, so learn it. So basically, that's the first point. Point number 2 is the trust. You. Do your students trust you? How to build trust? There are so many ways, and the different people do it in different ways. But for me is this. Number one, you have to be better than them at what you're teaching. Because if they're better at whatever you're teaching, they will not learn. That's kind of obvious. Number two is be honest. The students will ask you a question. How do you say that? Or what is that? What does it mean? Why is it like that? And you don't know. So what do you do? And some people will try to wiggle out of this, like, oh, no, it's because of that, or just lie, or just think of things, or like, oh, we haven't learned it yet, wait a little. No, those are lies. If you don't know, just say, you know what? I don't know. And let's find out together. This is the best. If you can't find out together, on the spot, then you say, okay, I don't know, but I will find out and I will tell you. And that simple act of being honest will create trust that whatever you are saying is true. If whatever you are saying is not true, why should they learn from you? There is no reason. Next point is to be good at teaching. And what do I mean by that? Is to make learning easy, okay? Because everybody, you've had many teachers in your life, right? And everybody had many teachers in their life. And so people can compare. Do you teach well? Everybody knows it, everybody feels it, even without realizing it. If you want to have the trust of your students, you have to be good at teaching. They need to appreciate you and what you are doing, okay? Then, the next step is kind of related to that, is care. You need to care, because imagine if somebody doesn't care about you. Do you want to learn from the person who doesn't care about you? I think not, right? How to show that you care is basically being attentive, listening, asking questions. Next is to be relatable. What do I mean by that? It goes hand in hand with being honest. Being relatable means having similar experiences and values. For example, one of my students found this bike in my toy box. She said, oh, my daddy has a bike. And then I said, you know what? This bike looks like the bike I used to have. Then show the picture and they're like, whoa, you have a bike. That's very cool. And this is same type. They feel connection. Even if this is not logical, this is purely emotional. If you like the same food, that's relatable. Another big point, and I feel like I should mention it completely separately because this is so important, is how to correct people, how to give feedback when you are giving feedback, okay? Don't make it sound negative. How to do that? So my way of doing that is, number one, don't show negative emotions. Here is an example. In Japan, let's say a student does something, I don't know, soccer kick or whatever, and it's almost correct, but it's not correct. Do you know what they say? They say, oshi! And it's oshi actually means almost. But the way they say it is, as I said, oshi! It's oh, you messed up, now your life is ruined. And to me, that was always oh my God, because I also use almost. But in my case, I'm saying almost? Yes, you are almost there. Good. You're almost perfect. And so you see, even the same word can be said in very different ways. I always try to not be negative about the feedback I give. The best way for me to do that is this. Number one, quickly say no. You don't need, oh no, you're wrong. No, just no. And this is how it's correct. Understand? So you don't have to spend a lot of time, the students don't have time in this painful negativity of no. For example, we are teaching soccer, okay? And we are teaching how to kick a ball. And then our student kicks a ball and it goes kind of in the right direction, but it's not there. And they're like, no, not like that, like this. And so then you show the correct way immediately. And then the student is like, okay, so no, it was wrong. This is how to do. Boom, done. This is finished. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, please comment below what was your takeaway from this video. If you want more content like this, please subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm and it helps me produce more content for you. And it's also free for you to subscribe. So do it now. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.